Like my mum and dad always told me to do, like, try and do a job that is essentially your hobby.
It's literally, you've just got a blank page and you've just got to start.
Yeah, I like to try new things. Like I like to push myself.
Good for you.
And I think if you don't try, you won't know. It's hard to picture that, right? You can't picture a Highland cow like in a dressing gown. You know, how do you draw that? Is he on 2 legs? Is he on 4? It is all subjective. Really.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah,
it
massively.
Really is.
There's a lot that goes into even the smallest thing.
You work in design, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So have you always wanted to get into design?
I think so. I've always been really creative, like my whole life. And I think like for GCSEs, I did like art and textiles. And then for A-level, I like honed it in more. I did product design and art. And then, degree, I then did a degree in textiles. So every step of the way, I've sort of like honed it in a bit more to what I sort of specifically want to do.
So do you love it then? Do you just love design?
I absolutely love it, yeah. I think like my mum and dad always told me to do, like, try and do a job that is essentially your hobby. And
that's good advice.
Yeah, I've always loved art because I think you're in your job for a long time. Like it's a lot of your life, isn't it? So if you don't do something you don't enjoy.
And a long part of the day as well.
Yeah. So just doing something you love makes the day go quicker and, you have a great time.
What do you love about it? Like, because to do it, like, you've picked up on that really early. Like, there's a lot of people. I mean, I knew sort of what area I'd want to get in, like media.
Yeah.
But I didn't know specifically. But what do you remember what it was that you were like, oh yeah, this is what I really like?
I don't know. I think, so I've always liked drawing and art. I've been really into my art. And I think that it was less sort of traditional art and things like that. And then I loved sort of doing little sewing projects and things like that with my mum and my nan and sort of things like that. And then I kind of thought like, these two could work together quite nicely. And I think I was going to do an art degree, but I think doing a sort of textiles degree is there's a bit more scope for jobs as well. Because you're basically an artist, but in application. Like you're an artist, but you designed for something.
Oh, okay. No one's ever explained it like that before. That's a really good way of putting it.
There's just like a next step to it. So it's like, I'll be painting on a canvas, for work. We'll still do paintings and things. And then I'll think, well, what's this going on? Is it a graphic tee, like a back placement? Is it,
Oh, okay.
So you just take it that one step further into product.
So yeah, totally. I'm just thinking of it in my word. It's like if you're going to create a bit of like social media content or something, you're not just creating the content, you're thinking about, right, what channel's that going on?
Yeah. Who's it aimed at,
Clever. So I should introduce you.
Yeah.
So you're Sarah and you are a...
Yes, so I'm a assistant print designer on Womenswear non-clothing.
Ah.
Yeah.
Always been on Womenswear or at Next, or did you start somewhere else?
So I graduated in the summer of 23.
Okay.
And then I came straight here in September.
Nice.
I started on the home team as a graduate print and pattern designer. And I did that for a year, and then because the contract's a year for that, the graduate scheme for design. To be honest, if you'd said to me even a year ago, like, you're going to be working on Womenswear, I'd be like, no, I'm not. Like, I don't.
Why is that? Why is it a surprise?
My degree was in interiors.
Okay.
So
okay.
I never actually really touched fashion before.
Interesting.
Yeah, I was a print designer for the application of interiors. But if you can draw, your skills are transferable. I sort of started off thinking, like curtains, cushions, bedding, all that sort of thing. And that's what I love to design for. And that's what I did when I started. But now I've sort of translated my skills through to womenswear. And I think particularly because non-clothing covers, nightwear, loungewear, swimwear, beachwear, shoes, hats, gloves, scarves, bags, jewellery. Like, it's a really big department.
So you still loads of variety there to design for.
Yeah, absolutely loads. And there's 3 of us on the print team. So we designed for the whole of the floor.
Wicked.
Yeah, so it's such a varied job. And I think that, especially nightwear in particular, there's a lot of crossover with the prints that I used to do for home and the prints I do for nightwear.
In what way? I'm a bit like I'm trying to think, curtains and nightwear.
Yeah, well, basically, on the home department for Next, we do a lot of novelty product. So we do a lot of conversational prints, you know, Hamish.
Yeah, massive.
Yeah, things like that. So we do lots of things like that. And that basically translates to nightwear, because nightwear like sort of novelty things. They like fun icons and little graphic tees and things. And then I also worked on the cushions team whilst I was a graduate on the home department. And whilst I was there, you know, you do a lot of placements and things. Like I did a cushion that's launched not too long ago, and it says, "Ain't my first rodeo." And it's like, you know, any sort of graphic placements and things like that. We do a lot of that still on nightwear, like placements, and also swim and beach as well. We do quite a few things like that. So it's the transition, as daunting as it was, because I didn't really know if I was going to like it. I took the plunge. I thought, you know, what have I got to lose?
What was that thing, do you reckon, that was there in the back of your mind that you were like, ooh?
I like to try new things. Like I like to push myself. And I think if you don't try, you won't know. So
100%.
You know, like
100%.
Why not? So I did it and I absolutely love it. And I think, you know, I might be biased, but I think non-clothing women's wear is the most exciting area to work on for print, because I think we do really crazy prints. We've got some wacky things. We've got some like sort of calmer things. It's a really varied job.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And it's interesting there because you said a lot about all those you said it a couple of times, like transferable skills or easy to transfer from uni to home. So
yeah.
I never really looked at it that way. And that's quite an interesting way of looking at it. It feels like you're constantly doing that.
Yeah, I think, you know, I'm just sponging it all up still. So I'm learning as much as I can from everyone. Like there's so many great people that I work with, and we all bring different things to the table. We've all got different experience. And I think together we do a lot of collaboration because we're the start of the process. You know, the print team, we're designing prints that are then to go on a product that hasn't yet been designed. So, you know, they're asking for prints because they've got a vision of what they want. And then there's a lot of freedom to almost do what you want as well. They trust that, you know, we're the print experts. Yeah. We keep an eye out for things. Like we go on comp shops, we go abroad, we travel, we look at what people are wearing, we look at what people are, you know, how people are styling things and stuff. And we get inspiration from that to design our prints. So a lot of the time, if you've got a real gut feeling that you want to do something, you can do it. You know, you can do it. You can draw it. You can paint it. You can digitally create it. However you see fit. And a lot of the time, you know, they'll get put through into the meetings, into selection, and it'll, you know, you get lots of different responses. There's so many different opinions and different views on things, and it's really nice to hear what people have got to say about your work. It's nice to get like a well-rounded sort of view on things that you do, because it's so subjective, isn't it? You know,
100%.
We tailor to such a big audience at Next. Like a lot of the stuff that I design, I wouldn't wear. Some of the stuff that I design, I would wear. You know,
is that hard to create something and be like, or do you look at it more as, I'm really focused on the print as a print rather than a product? Or how do you? Yeah,
it's more like it's hard to explain. Yeah. It's kind of like you have to put yourselves into their shoes, because, you know, I might not like, you know, for an example, I actually don't like Halloween, and at the moment we're working on Halloween prints.
Is that just
right?
personal preference?
This is just personal preference. Yeah. I'm not a fan of Halloween. We're working on Halloween at the moment, and you know, you've got to you just have to try that bit more. Like you have to get the ball rolling. Like you get some inspiration, and you look at what other people are doing. It's quite good that our lead time is about a year. So essentially, so we're kind of working on things a year in advance.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, I love that. I love that.
Yeah, it is good. And I think it helps because then you can also see what other people are doing. Because, you know, it's that season. Yeah, because, you know, if you're working 6 months in advance, you're doing Christmas prints when it's peak summer. You know,
it's quite hard.
It's really hard. Like, how are you getting into that zone of, you know, like, holly jolly when you're
getting the vibes or the weather. You're like,
you can't even picture it, especially from a print perspective. If I'm there drawing like a Santa Claus novelty print and it's like boiling hot, I'm like, I'm struggling here. You know, it's not.
Yeah, it's like Santa in a swimsuit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but so it's a really fun thing to do.
And do you start like? It's literally you've just got a blank page and you've just got to start.
Yeah, I mean, I was chatting to my granddad the other day, and he was basically saying like he's realised now that he's got almost a new appreciation for clothes, because he didn't actually realise. I get this a lot. People say to me like, I didn't actually realise people design the prints. Like, people do the prints.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hello.
Yeah.
But even your shirt, for example, you know, that's woven, but someone's had to come up with that design. So, you know, the print team, I know we're the print team, but we also do wovens, we do like embellishments, we do all sorts, right? So we just design visuals, essentially.
So what's the difference, say, from designing this to a print?
So that we would design it in the same way. So I would measure all the little checks on all the little squares and components. I'd put it together in a print. So I'd draw it out
just as
digitally,
just like a A4-ish,
yeah, something like that. But normally we work to a repeat tile. So your actual square is very small on there. So we'd only be working to like 3 centimetre tile for that.
Oh,
To save yourself work, because it's all the same, you know, it's repeated.
Oh, I guess. Yeah.
So we'll just do a small little tile, we'll measure it out, we'll print it out, we'll then Pantone match it. So we'll pick all the colours out that we want to use, we'll write up a spec sheet for the supplier, send it off, and then that hands over to the product designer then. And the product designer will design the shape, the cut, the fit, you know, how is it oversized, is it relaxed fit, is it, you know, a slim fit shirt, I don't know. But yeah, so everything, even things like that you think are really simple, still take like a designer to come up with, you know, even a simple print. So I think it's just, it's nice to see that like people are like recognizing the, you know, there's a lot of effort that goes into even like the simplest thing. Yeah. Even just a plain shirt, you're picking Pantones, you're getting like, you're getting samples in. If it's not quite right, you're going again, like you're picking a new Pantone. There's a lot that goes into even the smallest thing.
Yeah, I've got designers in my team, and one thing I learned quickly when they were coming in was the variety and the way that they look at colour is so different to the rest of the world. You can't just go, oh, white, or, oh, can we have that in green? It's like, what green?
Yeah,
like, are we talking
grass
like
green,
mountain green or grass green? And I'm like, what? Like, yeah, it's a whole different thing. And I think, is that, again, I guess, are those things you've learned here over time, or is it a bit of both from like you always being in that design as well?
Yeah, I think you learn a lot more as you go.
Yeah.
We all sort of have sort of similar terms and things that we pick up on that we know, you know, like there's like the sagey green always does really good, like the sage green, you know, and things. Green, yeah, we all love it. And stuff like that. But I think, you know, it's kind of, it is all subjective. Really.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah,
it
massively.
Really is.
But yeah.
It's just about making that design or that whatever you're doing the best it can be, I guess. And then kind of talking it through with others of like, look, this is the vision.
I think like colour comes in trends as well. Yeah. Because it's interesting to see like more recently I've been designing a lot of things that have got more clashing colours. That I wouldn't normally put together. I think people are pushing the boundaries with how they're styling things and wearing things, and you know, putting unexpected pops of colour in. Like lots of people are wearing really bright coloured shoes and things like that. Like we're all sort of pushing the boundary a bit, and I think we're pushing newness as a company as well. And I think, you know, it starts right from us, you know, like what colours we put together. You know, it's massive because when you go into a store, the customer like initially is like, okay, I might want a shirt, but they'll look at the colours. That's what you first initially see is like a colour of things.
Yeah, I'm thinking on a website and in a store. Yeah. And I am. If I type in on a website, say like shirt or check shirt, I will go, oh, that colour's nice.
You'll pick up on colour first. So like, you know, it is a really important part of the process, not just like the actual illustration or drawing or whatever. It is, you know, colour is massive. Yeah,
100%. And what's and you've mentioned there like start the process and team and stuff. So I guess, do you have to work a lot then with the other like with the team?
Yeah,
like with the team. Do you
massively.
work with because there was only 3 of you, right? Yeah. So do you work with a lot of different teams?
Yeah. So we're quite a good unit, us 3. We stick together. We've got
nice.
We know what we're doing, and it works really well for us because we're on it. We're on it. Like, you know, you're doing that, you're covering that. We've got like our fingers in lots of pies all at once. Okay. Just because of how we work. Like we work for so many teams. There's so many different deadlines. People need things at different times. Then you might have like a trade reaction or something that is like, you know, it takes priority, and there's lots of things always going on. And then a lot of the time we're either designing or we're speccing. So that's the two kind of things that we do. So speccing is where once we've done a design, we have to spec it up essentially. So we basically have a sheet of paper, and it's all digital, and we'll basically put like the Pantones to the print. Is it screened or is it a digiprint? So, some things are screened, which is basically where they physically screen print the design, which is cheaper, or it can be a digital print, which is obviously digitally printed onto the fabric, basically like a normal printer that you would get.
Okay.
So those are the two main ones.
Why is screen printing cheaper then?
I actually don't know, because when I did it at uni, it was a lot more laboursome.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's like,
it took a lot more work.
Right?
Yeah. But I think it's, I don't know, you have to have some merch or buy it. Something to do with quantities maybe. But it's lots of things like that you have to like contend with. And the screen print can only have 12 colours. A lot of prints, if you've done a watercolour, there's millions of shades in that print.
Yeah, even from like one colour.
Yeah, just a stroke. So then you have to really sort of pare it back and take it down to like the bases, your primary colours, and then like extend from there. And, you can do a thing on Photoshop called Colour Index, which basically strips a lot of the colour out and just picks on the main ones on the photo.
I know what you
image.
mean.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. So we use that quite a lot and things like that, just to get a screenable artwork.
Ah, clever.
Yeah.
And this is so interesting, isn't it? Like, there's probably some people listening to this that are like, oh, finally, someone's preaching, like telling the process. But I think if you're not in that world, again, you just don't know.
You wouldn't know. And I think, I also think that it's really nice to still do like traditional methods. Like, I'm a massive advocate for it. I'm like, let me get my paints out,
Yeah,
I think
you've said that a few times. You have said watercolours a few times.
Yeah, I think it's really nice. Obviously, we utilise AI as well a bit now.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
In what way?
It's mainly for a starting point, or like generating ideas, because it's not quite there yet in terms of like our design quality or the resolution. And you can't just type in, I want a daisy on a lovely field of something, blah, 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 and then get it. It's not there yet. So you can get elements, you can, ask for specific things and then work with it. But we never really work just with that.
No.
It's quite good. I've recently just had to do a new Hamish print.
Well,
I won't disclose.
I was going to say, you be careful. People love Hamish.
People love it. But just know good things are coming for Hamish.
Nice.
Yeah, we're pushing the boundaries and he's doing new things. And that'll be out next summertime. But yeah, I think it's exciting. It's exciting to do lots of new things and push the boundaries. Of what
I
we can
agree
do.
on the AI thing though. Like, it's not there. And even though I think I saw recently, I think it was this week of the time we're recording, that Google brought out this new image thing that's
text to image things. Yeah.
Oh, it's something banana. I forget it. I forget the name. Someone write in the comments. But basically, you can even take an existing image and be like, right, I want that person's head to be to the right, smiling, and it will do a perfect match of it.
Yeah.
And it's incredible, but it's all on your prompts and the instructions. Because like you say, if you're very vague, it's just going to give you this random thing. But if you're like, oh, I want it to
hone it in a bit
like
more.
this and curve and do that. And
I think it's better at doing photographic things, is what I've learned.
Oh,
as soon as you put a technique in, or you want it painterly, or you want it, in a style of like an artistic style, essentially, or oil color, or different things like that. I think it struggles to get the technique and the paint strokes and like the sort of like naturalness of how it would be, because it's obviously digital still.
Yeah.
So I think it works much better with like photographic looking things than it does. But it's a great tool. It's a great tool for us. That's what I was saying. I forgot what I was saying. Hamish, right? So we get him to do some funky things, right? He's always doing like something different, holding something, wearing something. And it's hard to picture that, right? You can't picture a Highland cow like in a dressing gown, How do you draw that? Is he on 2 legs? Is he on 4?
I'd go 2. Yeah, right. He's got to be 2.
So it's things like that like you can't see it in the wild to take a picture, to draw from that. You can't get inspiration. So things like AI can help generate things like that.
So that foundation.
Then I can paint from that, or draw from that, or do a digital creation from that. So it's things that, I don't know how does he have an elbow? Do they have elbows? Do they have, it's like all things like that. Like, how do they bend? How do they move?
4 knees, or 4 knees,
exactly.
or 2 elbows, 2 knees.
Yeah. It's getting confusing. So it's like, how do you actually replicate something like that, basically? But that is a useful tool for that.
Yeah, 100%. And have you, since your graduate days, then have you Have you learned a lot here then, do you think, and gained a lot of experience?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, you know, when you come in as a graduate, you've got so much to learn. Like, you're just starting out, you know, you've got what you got taught at university, like the technical elements of it. Like, you know how to do a repeat, you can do a half drop, you can do a block repeat, you can do all this sort of things. And then you come into industry and it's like, it's a bit overwhelming, right? But you soon find your feet. We've got such like generous teams here that want to like share their knowledge with you and want to help you out. And you know, there's such a community feel that I think that you don't feel like daunted by things. And you know, it's easy to, I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's easy to come into something and like have your basic knowledge, but there's so much to build on that all the time.
You're always
like,
learning.
Always learning.
Yeah.
And I think I'm such a better print designer even in the 2 years that I've graduated from when I started, just because of, you know, repetition as well. I'm doing it day in, day out.
Like all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
You know, that's my job to draw pretty things. So, you know, it's just practice. Practice makes perfect.
I like that. I like that. Well, thank you very much for coming on the podcast.
It's okay.
It's been great to have you on.
Thank you for having me.
No, I love it. I love learning about all the new like different jobs and roles, and I'm really getting into the nitty gritty as well. So no, thanks for coming on Life at Next podcast.
Thank you.